Hey everybody, welcome back to my creative world. Today we are going to take on an interesting challenge. This is going to be sort of a one-off episode from the Ancient City series. And this episode is here to ask, what the hell is this? Okay, if you've seen the Ancient City series, you have seen all the structures that we have had generate naturally into it, and they're of course all over here and there and there. And these are all sort of the rebuilt stuff that I sort of experimented with. But this one did not generate in the city. And I was kind of bummed out because this is a pretty cool structure. I heard about it and I looked, you know, sort of through the wiki to sort of find what this looked like. Of course, I looked after we did the Ancient City, not before. And so this, you know, this generates in some ancient cities, but not all. And so ours did not have it. So it's got these little pools here. Two of them. It's got a couple rooms. Yeah, it's just sort of an interesting structure. So today, I still have my Bronze Age texture pack on. Okay, well, we'll get rid of that before we start. But today, we are going to go ahead and do the reconstruction and the interpretation of this. Though, I mean, if you know anything about classic societies, the interpretation on this is going to be pretty straightforward because, I mean, it looks pretty obvious to me. Maybe not to you, but to me it does. But we'll get into that. So, without further ado, let me change the texture pack back to the original texture pack. And yeah, we'll start talking about a few of the things. Okay, so first things first, we want to replace all of the cracked brick with regular brick. Right off the bat. We don't have to deal with sculk in this one, thankfully, and we don't need to deal with any of the weird little, I think they're called jigsaw blocks. By the way, shout out to Richard for helping me get this whole thing set up here. But yeah, so jigsaw blocks are gone. Now we need to get these cracked bricks gone. Ta-da! Okay, no more cracked bricks. As for the actual deep slate itself, each one of these we're going to have to sort of take on a case-by-case basis. Because you can see, like this one here is really close to that tile, but it's also within the brick. So let's just do the ones that are easy. So it looks like the tile here is marking out sort of the boundaries of whatever this is. So I'm going to say that that's probably brick. And when it comes to here, we've got this little room here, which is similar to this little room here. And this little room here has tile. So I'm going to assume that this is tile. And I'm also going to assume that maybe there was a doorway here, in which case that would be tile, since that is sort of marking out the tile, that is, of course, is marking out the boundaries of that room. That's interesting. Okay. All right, so we got all that. Do we have any others? Okay, so I think the best way to go about tackling this structure is to, well, one, try to figure out the footprint. So let's look at this from above. It appears to me like this is a rectangular building. I realize that the side here is sort of chewed out and this little bit here is chewed out, but I honestly think that this is a rectangular building because you've got the walls that go here and they come along this section to a corner. They come along this section here, and then you got these that sort of meet up to it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my trusty orange wool here, because that seems to be the corner, right? Right? Okay. And we're going to go over here. It seems like that's a corner. So let's just go that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so because I already clicked on that corner over there as my first corner, I can just come here and do this, hit the up button, well, bam. Look at that. Odo would be proud. All right, so there's all that. This is probably along the lines of the same thing. What about over here? Yeah, probably. So let's go ahead and we will pick that as our first. And then, we're not going to clip that water, are we? Nope. Okay, perfect. And that one there, up button, wha-bam. There you go. Easy peasy. So now we have the footprint of what it appeared to be. Okay, so let's go through this, shall we? This looks like stairs leading up. That's a pretty good guess. Okay. Look at that. That's looking nice already. Also, if you're wondering why these candles don't seem to be lit, they are. I just have particles turned way down. I do that from time to time because I do a lot of stuff in the ancient city, sort of like cleaning up and getting it ready for download. And so I use night vision, and I don't like having the particles because the particles, well, I mean, it looks like I'm constantly farting or I smell bad. So it's obnoxious. All right, so candles. Well, looks like they should span the entire way at least. So there we go. We're just going to do that. Make that easy. See, there you go. They expand the entire way that way. And then you've got this. Now this could be any number of things. Because it's big enough, it could be a way to heat up the water, right? Well, actually, that's not where the water's at. The water would probably be up, or the fires would probably be right here, because water is, yeah, right there. But there's candles there, so maybe the candles are heating this up, though that wouldn't really heat it up that much. Or the other thing would be ice in here. If you put ice in here, it would give you sort of an ice bath, right? This would be an ice bath. But what I think is going on is I think that one's probably the heated one, simply because they built it up like this. And this one is the ice bath. Now, if there was lava underneath this structure, then this would probably be the heated one, and this with this sort of air, this insulation of air here, this pocket of air, would probably be the ice bath. But again, this didn't load naturally into the ancient city, so you can't say for sure. I would say that this is probably the heated one, and that's probably the ice one, though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Even though there's probably not a lot of people that would want to hang out in the ice versus hang out in the heat. More people would probably want to hang out in the heat, which means this would probably have to be bigger. But, you know, again, I don't really know. But these are definitely separate functions because of, one, their size and how they are built. If somebody took the time to build this platform here with that pocket underneath and the size of it, that would suggest that this has a different function than this one, just out of the sake of it being different. Because if they wanted two pools the exact same, why would they build this big old platform like this? So there was a different function for both of these, I would say. At least that's what this suggests. So we're going to go with that. I'm not going to put fires underneath there for now. Just out of curiosity, though, where is it right here? No. Where is it? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it's right over where these candles are. So if you put fire here like campfires, that would heat this up pretty well. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. The other thing is there could have been organics under here too that rotted away. We don't really know. So that's done. This pool, there's not much to do to the pool because, you know, it's just a pool. But let's talk about these rooms here. So these rooms, it looks to me, whoops, like this belongs here, like it shifted. And this is not a doorway. Oh, I guess you could squat and get in through there. It's odd that there's that tile piece. What's underneath it? Ooh, deep slate. Interesting. What's underneath that? More deep slate. More deep slate. Okay. Yeah, not really sure what the tile's all about. Let's go ahead and just rebuild this where I think it should go. So yeah, I couldn't tell you. So we're just gonna do that. Perhaps it shifted. Perhaps it got uplifted by the floor here. I don't know. Okay, so that's done. It's got the candle here. I'm gonna guess that the candles were light. Oh, what's in here? Let's see here. Echo shard, leggings. Wow, lots of really wild stuff. Okay. Interesting. Whoa. Okay, lots of weird stuff in here. All right. So let's assume that there is a door that you enter. Okay, so there's that. So those two rooms are done. There is this room here. All right, so 1, 2, 3 rooms done, or at least the walls are done. This is kind of an interesting setup here. This must be the way you enter into this. And the fact that these candles are here like this suggests that this is the shape that was in. So let's just... This is interesting. It's sort of asymmetrical here when you have candles there. Wait a second. Ah, they're candles that are not burning. It's possible they fell. So let's get rid of those. We'll do this here. Or maybe they just got knocked back. So far, so good. So that's done. That's some sort of, I guess, entrance? Seating area? I don't know. Another sort of entrance into here. Okay. Some rooms. Maybe changing rooms? I don't know. They're kind of big for changing rooms. That I could see as a changing room. Those, not so much. Okay, so that seems to be it for that. Let's look at the pillars. So, tile and chiseled. Okay, looks like we got... Let's get rid of that again here. Ah, okay. There we go. So sort of a skinny deal. See, you got that there. Makes almost like some windows. Okay. Oh, I just noticed we have cracked tile. Okay, well. Whoa, there we go. They're so dark you don't even notice them. Alright. So that's all good, that's all good. So the pillars seem to follow a pretty straightforward design. So you have tile at the bottom, chiseled, tile, stair, stair, chiseled, tile, tile. So this one would be... Whoop. Oh my god, we just jumped, thank you. That. And that. That's it. That's a column. So we've got this little archway here. Let's reconstruct it over there. So it looks like upside down stairs and a couple tile blocks. There we go. Done. Okay. This one and this one don't have corresponding pillars with them. That's okay. What about this one? This one is sort of on its own, but it's attached to that, so... All right. Looking good, looking good. Now that looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah. That looks pretty good. Looks like there was a chunk of wall. Let's go ahead and just reconstruct that over on the other side. Okay, so it's 3 tall. All right, there we go. So that looks pretty nice. That looks like it's a nice entrance to the place. Got these 2 pillars here. And then we've got, this is probably a wall that goes all the way around. It is, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 high. What is it over here? 1, 2, 3, 4 high. And then there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4 high. All right, so why don't we do this? Yep, that's the same design as that. Well, that looks nice. That looks really nice. From the outside, it looks pretty imposing. It's got these little windows here. It's kind of cool. All right. Now, here's the big question, right? The roof. Now, I've already mentioned that the cave in which the ancient city sits was probably carved out by water, and there was probably water or things like that dripping down on the inside, because Minecraft has nothing but wet caves. Like, all the large caverns have water in there somewhere. Also lava a lot of times. So it's safe to assume that the cavern with which the ancient city sits drips water on the inside. And so it's probably safe to assume that that happens here as well. And yeah, you probably don't want to be sitting in a hot tub with cold water dripping down on your head. So let's assume that there was a roof on this place. We could also assume that there were roofs on these smaller buildings here, and maybe something like I don't know, like just a roof that spanned this, that went over this guy here. But let's just assume that the whole thing had a roof on it, and then from there we can determine if the other ones had roofs. So let's just do something real easy, right? Even though I said we are not going to do flat roofs, let's just do this. I mean, it's all right. I'm not really digging it. So, oops. Let's take that off. Let's assume a sort of a domed roof, kind of like these guys here. Only that it would just be square. So let's... Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's not too bad. Let's go inside. Yeah, not bad at all. Let's do some soul lanterns, because they seem to really like those. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. There we go. There we go. No more fart particles. Okay. So I give myself some night vision. All right, so there you go. We started with this sort of fallen apart type thing, and using just some basic, I don't know what you would call it, just some intuition, looking at things, copying the way things are done, like, for example, this entrance over there, because it seems to have the same type of construction, we end up with this. Now, of course, the wood can be replaced with any color, but I chose the nether woods for this because this is a fairly large structure, and therefore it is probably some sort of official structure. But that's basically, yeah, this is basically what I think this would have looked like if it was rebuilt. So let's take a quick tour through here. Just walk on through there. Got this area, got a seating area here. You got where you can put your candles. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and put some more candles there. There we are. Yeah. This area here, sort of the waiting area to get in, or maybe just some sort of official entrance. We've got these, which maybe changing rooms. They're awfully big for changing rooms, though. But it looks like there's some stuff in here, including something you would wear, so maybe, I don't know. And then we've got this guy up here, the big sauna, flanked on either side by these cool arches, which, you know, the pillars are sort of the same as these, the rest of the building. We got this one, which definitely could be a changing room. It's small enough and it's full of weird stuff, but again, something you can wear, though I don't know, I'm not going to judge if you wear that. Not my place to judge what you do in your free time. And yeah, so this is what I think it would look like. Let's see what it looks like coming around the other side. So walking in here. Yeah, you know what I need though? I think some stairs going in rather than this. And since there were no stairs, well, maybe they were organic. Whoops. Maybe they were organic. There we are. Let's come in here. Met with this. Yeah. I'm digging it. I like it. I'm going to keep screwing around with it because I cannot help myself. But, yeah. Not too bad. Come around here. You walk into this area. Yeah. So anyways, if anybody would like to have this as a schematic for their own world, again, hit me up in my Discord and I can give you this schematic and any of these other schematics as well. Any of these. You just simply need to ask. So yeah, there you go. There's your sort of one-off episode where we took that and made it into that. All right. See you next time.